Hi. So I got this beast added to my playroom here, and this is the Ultra VP7 sold by Rec Room Worlds. It's a hefty price tag on it, but apparently this is the best you can get as far as plug and play goes without me having to build the machine myself. So those of you who are pinball enthusiasts, this is, to me, I guess this is as good as it gets when it comes to virtual, without having to buy an actual new real pinball machine. So this thing is very heavy. Basically, I hurt myself trying to pick it up, but this thing weighs about 310 pounds out of the crate. Feels a lot heavier though. I mean, all the weight is on the back side, the majority of it, which is why it feels heavier. As you can see, this thing has a 49-inch playfield, which is to accommodate the standard playfield that is on most real pinball machines like Williams and Stern machines. If you look at the back, we have a back glass that changes based off of whatever game you pick. And then above that is a topper that has police beacons that came with it. This thing is great because it actually syncs up with any game you pick and gives some sort of picture. I think I only found one game where there was no picture, but usually if you're playing like movie games, it'll show like clips of the movie in it. It's very cool. So if you look here, this is the main user interface. I'm not sure what the name of it is. I think it's called like Pinup Popper or something. I don't know what the actual name of it's called. But this thing is very cool. Once you get to playing with it for a little bit, you start to figure out the categories pretty easily. Has everything you'd want on it. Has random tables if you just want to pick a random one. It saves your most played and recently played tables. I guess the most played is like most played by everyone else in the world, I guess. You have your Visual Pinball X, which is the majority of the tables on here. We're looking at approximately 1,500 tables. There's more than what is than what it says on here. So right here it says 1,445 games. But I think this is also missing a lot of games that are in the 18 and older category, as well as I'm not sure if actually I think Pinball FX is included on here, but 1,500 games, especially with the arcade games I think that they put on here. But I mean, these tables are excellent. Visual Pinball X is basically a community-driven group. So obviously the tables on here were made by users, not necessarily a group like Pinball FX, which is in studios. So there are some tables. I played so far about 100, if not more, tables on here. And I think out of all those, I've only found like 6 tables that had issues. And one of them I was able to fix myself. So if you have some knowledge and are computer savvy, you could probably figure this stuff out yourself. But I didn't want to dig too deep in it since I just got the thing. Alright, so I'm going to click on a table here. I actually have not tested this one, so this is X-Men, I think based off the Stern table. So as you can see, you let the game load up. It usually takes about 10 seconds or so. Yep, and then it does its own little run here. You'll hear when I'm playing this all of the DOF settings, which basically is like the shaker motor, the solenoids, as well as the gear motors, which I think you just heard the gear motor. There we go. So the coin button down here that I'm hitting that allows me to add credits. You can hear the knocker going off. This thing does have a knocker. It also has a real tilt bob. So, as you can see, the plunger here pretty good, especially with Visual Pinball X tables. It goes pretty accurately to how you're pulling it. I will also say that the physics on Visual Pinball are usually really good. There's also Future Pinball on here, but I have to admit it's not as great. So you can hear the shaker go off. There's also a subwoofer built into the middle of the machine to displace some of the sound. As you can see, you might not be able to see as well as I am because I'm sure my phone is only filming at, I think, 30 frames per second, and this is going at 60 frames or 120 frames per second. I can't remember. So you won't be able to see it as smoothly as you would if you were standing here. So it might the ball might look a little jittery as you're watching it. But I will tell you that the flipper lag is non-existent. As you can see, I'm hitting it. I don't sense any lag whatsoever. My wife played it. She's also the one filming right now. And she didn't notice any flipper lag for the VPX tables. We did notice a little bit of flipper lag for the Future Pinball tables, which there are not as many on here. We've actually experienced minor problems with the two major problems with the Future Pinball tables every time we played them. Usually, I think the weirdest one we saw was the ball would automatically shift over to the left of the playfield no matter what, and that just randomly started happening. So we weren't sure what to do with it. We just reset it, and it started working okay for a little bit, but overall the ball seems more floaty with Future Pinball. VPX tables are a lot more reliably smooth, with, I think, more grounded physics. So as of right now, while some Future Pinball tables definitely look good, I would definitely prefer playing Visual Pinball tables. Oh, looks like I got a multi-ball. Cool. And if it sounds loud on the phone, I can tell you it's way louder in real life. It is very loud. And this is with, I think, the volume set at 30 out of like 100. So, yeah. Once I lose this ball, we'll get out of here. I'll show you something else. But as you can see, it does a very good job of handling multiple balls without any slowdown or noticeable lag or any jittering. And part of that's because of the computer that this system has in it. I believe it's an RTX 3060 or something, with I forgot what the computer processor is, if it's like an Intel i7 or something. I honestly can't remember. I just know that it's an RTX 3060. So as you can see here, it utilizes a full DMD as the third screen in the middle, and I mean, it is incredible. Several of these tables have a full color DMD instead of the monochrome or that's found in the normal DMD for most of these games. This is a real game. There's also our Pinball FX, FX3 games, so it's a completely different thing here. Just several, I mean, it's got every game you can pretty much think of, just except for some of the newer games that people have built in the VPX community. We have VPN Workshop here. So comes with 33 games. I know for a fact that this number has gone up to like 60 or 70, if not more. The software I'm using, which is VP7, from the company that I bought this from, Rec Room Worlds. I've already spoke with the guy that kind of got me my system. His name's Tony. He was great. He's very personable. He usually gets back to me if I have any questions. Their customer service, I have nothing but good things to say about at Rec Room Worlds. Basically the software is going to be getting a major update starting next month, which, because I'm a new customer, I've been told that I will most likely get mine for free, which is going to be a 2 terabyte solid state drive, as opposed to the 1 terabyte that's already in here. So basically that's super cool, that I'm getting that, and then that'll have, I believe, 800 more tables, plus, I didn't tell you guys yet, but if you haven't seen already, or if you don't know, this system has a jukebox. I'm gonna click on it real quick. I actually thought this is one of the coolest things of the whole system. So as of right now, I think there's 1,900 songs on it. And the way it works, it's very fast. Almost all of these have music videos. So like this right here, now granted, the resolution on the back glass for some of these videos isn't very good, but that's because, they're literally pulling something that was, some of these songs are from like the 60s and 70s, I think. So naturally there won't be too much resolution for that. But it plays music videos automatically. There's 1,900 of them on here. I think it's amazing. So get out of that real quick. Basically all of Pinball FX3, there's 100 games on here, which I think is almost all of them. There may be 1 or 2 missing, but I think this is like all the ones that you want. Mainly it has like all these Star Wars and Marvel games that are Zen Studio originals. I could tell you because if you look here, I have 2 arcade 1-ups here. I have the Star Wars and the Williams arcade 1-up tables. They are good for the price that you pay for them, but every table that's on there is on here, and obviously in 4K with a full playfield, so naturally it's way better playing them on here. The experience is much different. Sorcerer's Lair, this is like one of my favorite ones. And one thing I found out last night is that if you play the original Pinball FX3 software on your consoles, you'll know that they have little special powers like a rewind feature and things like that, and challenges. You can actually still do those on here. You have to be careful with the buttons because the button layout's a little different, but you can complete all those challenges and obtain those powers, so you can still do that on this one, which I think is really cool. So getting out of there, we also have Pinball FX2, which this one has mainly sports games, and I don't know why they deemed to make the same map but just different team. That seems silly to me, but they did it. And then you got a couple of extra ones here, some South Park tables, Pink Panther, Plants vs. Zombies. So, and then you have Zaccaria Pinball, which I played these on the console. There's over 100 of these games. I'm not a fan of Zaccaria very much, just because they're simple tables, and I think they sell them under the premise that you're getting 100 some tables, whereas you're actually only getting like 30. And you're getting the EM, the like electromagnetic version of the table. You're getting the solid state of the table, as well as the as well as the retro table as well. So it's like they're calling it 100 tables, but it's actually like 30 some. And then here's your future pinball tables, which there's about 44 games on here. Actually, I feel like there's more than that, but maybe they're just not in this category. I feel like I've come across more than what's in here. The tables look good, and some of them play extremely well. It's just that they tend to have more physics issues, like I said, than the visual pinball games. It's very noticeable when you go from one game to another, or one program to another. My wife can attest to that. So here you can sort your tables by manufacturer. So if you wanted to do Bally, Stern, Capcom, Data East, Williams, they're all listed here, so you can look at each one. And and just go in there and take a look and say, okay, look, here's Williams. There's 168 tables. So you'll find what you want. As you can see, there's a ton of retro tables on here. They left nothing out. So if it was a real table, most likely it's on here. With the exception of the brand new ones, like the new Foo Fighters, the new Godzilla, the new, I think, the Godfather game. Those aren't on this this update, but I'm sure they'll be there in the future because people recreate them a lot. So, yep. So, actually, these are the pup packs. So basically, if you look in the back glass, you'll see videos playing, usually from movies, things like that. And they will play while you're playing the game. So while your DMD is keeping your score, your back glass will actually play videos based on what's going on. So really cool. You know, especially when you've had, you know, if you can divide your attention well enough to watch it, it's kind of hard to do. But, and as you can see, the topper is also playing something. Like I have Demolition Man on right there. Shows John Spartan in his cryogenic prison right there, all naked. So don't need to see that. All right. Here's your full DMD games. It says there's only 20, but I feel like there might be more than that. But these packs basically take up your whole DMD, like your Guardians of the Galaxy there. Yep. So there's a lot of really, really good games on here. It's, Iron Maiden is incredible. You have non-flipper games, which I haven't really messed with because this is a pinball game. So adult tables, there's quite a few in here. Like the Evil Dead is in here. Any tables that may have had like nudity or extreme violence. Like I think there's a Walking Dead in here that the pup pack shows like a lot of gore and stuff. So you have to have a code for that, which you can get once you buy one of these. But yeah, you have your playlist, which if you click that, it also breaks it up into all your tables up into different categories like kids, holiday, horror. I like the horror one a lot. Movies, music, original, racing. I actually found out there's a ton of great racing tables that I didn't know about. And just several more categories. So, you know, you'll never get bored with the categories. These are the arcade games that come with the system. I haven't messed with any of these because I have some arcade cabinets. In the room, so I don't really need to play these on there. And I'm sure that some of these will probably work decent with how long the screen is, especially shoot 'em ups, but I'd rather play them on one of those because it's going to be stretched out here, probably a different aspect ratio than it needs to be. And then it comes with I guess the top 50, 100, and 150 games. So if you just want to go through and be like, oh, what are popular, you can click on those. You have your A through Z tables, so if you want to find one specifically. And then you also have your favorites, which I've been using a lot lately. I've been adding a lot of tables to my favorites. So like the South Park tables are absolutely amazing. My wife played this last night and really loved it. So this is actually a really cool one. It's a FX2 game. Spider-Man, which I have a real one, or not me, but we have a real one of these at a bar that's close to our house. And so I was excited that this was on here because now I can practice on it here. You got your Star Trek games. Again, all these tables work except I was a little disappointed to find out that this table doesn't work. In fact, I'll show you what it does. If I click on it, it'll look like it's loading, and then an error will come up in the middle of the playfield see, there it is, talking about a ROM file. And there's really nothing you can do about it unless you know how to mess. Like, I'm not going to go into Visual Pinball and mess with the ROM file. I would rather wait for my new update because Tony told me that they were going to be fixing all the issues with known table problems. So I was like, okay, I'd probably be better off waiting on it. So that's what I did. this right here. Oh yeah, if you hadn't seen the artwork on the side, I chose the Terminator 2 artwork. I'm still waiting on my plunger. They're actually painting me a metal Terminator head plunger. So that should be getting here anytime now. If you look at this table, this table didn't work at first. Basically, it would just go black after you hit load, and the DMD would stay up. And I actually looked online and determined what the issue was, so I fixed it. So I felt pretty proud of myself for that. Just like the other ones, you gotta add your credits, which I already have some on here, it looks like. Hit start. Oh, this one's a launch game. Let's see. I love this table, by the way. I played it at when I was in, where was it?
California.
Huh?
California.
Yeah, San Diego, I think.
Or was it Alameda?
Alameda. When I was in Alameda, they had a pinball museum that you could go to. It had over 100 tables, and that was like the first time I played this in real, like the real table, and I absolutely loved it. So I instantly knew that if I was going to get one, I wanted to get this table, art, and then I also wanted to play this table. See, the cool thing about this, see, it has a gun on it, and I want to aim that. See, and I hit it, and which causes multi-ball. So, really, really cool. I think it's absolutely amazing. Oh, lost that one. Oh, here we go. Shooting again. Got it. Oh, I didn't know I had another one. Missed that one. I didn't realize it was loaded. It's so easy to get lost in these games when you start playing them. And I can tell you that the time just flies. I'll go in here thinking I'm going to play for like 10 minutes and 30 minutes will pass before I'm like, oh crap. Alright, anyways, we'll get out of there. But excellent game. As you can see, it's got the movie playing in the back. Yep. Cool table. So, oh yeah, as you can see down here, there's a little, what do you call it, a little duct that I put on there. And this is basically an air duct. So this machine actually blows air out from the bottom, and with this duct that you can put on here, which is very easy to put on, it'll blow the air directly up. So with certain games like Twister, you'll get a lot of gusting from that. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but we can try. So. Oh yeah, I can feel it already. I don't know if it's gonna show it, but you can feel it. And here's the thing, like, obviously, so I mean, you can look it up online. It's no secret how expensive these are. I paid just over $10,000 for this machine. I saved up over a year to be able to buy this thing. And, you know, it's one of those things where it sounds like a lot, but the reality is, how much does a real pinball machine cost? If you want a good one, you're paying anywhere between $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the table you want. And you only get one game, you know, whereas this, I'm able to play basically all the games. They're replicated to a crazy accurate level, because I've played some of these games in real life, and I'm like, this is how I remember them. They feel the same. Obviously, there's slight differences, but I mean, I can't say enough how happy I am with this. I'll go ahead and shoot the last one. Ball save. Yeah. Don't do it again. All right. Well, screwed that up. Anyways, there you go. That's with this table. So overall, super happy with the product. I think those guys at Rec Room Worlds did an amazing job putting this together. It feels like 100% quality. The issues that I've come across with it aren't really the issues of the machine itself. It's an issue of the programming, which is, you know, like I said before, if it's Visual Pinball X, if there's any issues with those games, it's going to be because of the ROM and the coding, which is not something that they control at Rec Room Worlds. But they're making every attempt they can to get the right settings on here and try to make everything work as compatibly as possible. So I am pretty stoked about this. Very happy in general. Yeah, 1,166 games for Pinball X right now. So Visual Pinball. But yeah, I can't say enough how happy I am. I'm glad I got it. My wife likes it. She was pretty skeptical about getting it up here with how heavy it was, but we managed to get it up here, and I think right now it's as fun as it can possibly be. And that's really all I got. So despite like a few minor little things that I'm thinking of right now, I'm trying to think any other issues I might have had. Yeah, nothing worth mentioning, honestly. This thing is worth every penny that I think, every penny that I've spent on it. So, yeah. All right. Thank you guys, and have a good one.